State Senator Kevin Kelly from Stratford joins us now to talk more about this. Welcome.
Hello. Glad to be here.
It's nice to have you. As the former co-chair of the legislature's Aging Committee and an elder law attorney yourself, you've supported reforms on nursing homes. Detail for us your thoughts on what the governor signed this week.
Yeah, well, those were two bills, 5001 and 5045 or 46. It's actually 5046. And what they do is a number of sweeping changes, as John had just indicated in the introduction here, not only making it safer, but also looking at accountability with regards to nursing homes. And then also on 5001, which looks at a number of initiatives to make it easier for caregivers to start to get more information, because obviously aging in place is a daunting task, but it's going to start this whole idea of a single point of entry to get more information to more people earlier so that you can have better health outcomes for seniors. In addition, we had presumptive eligibility, which is something we've been working on for over a decade, finally get over the line. And also looking at other resources for family members like grandparents, raising grandchildren, and looking at, not all nursing homes are doing things wrong. Some nursing homes are actually doing things exceptionally well. And so we're going to start looking at centers of excellence and rewarding and trying to work with and understand those nursing homes that do things right in the hopes of creating better management practices to share with others.
Now, some of these facilities had to be held accountable, but at the same time, some nursing homes have been forced to close. Are we going to have enough care for our growing senior population?
Well, that's always a concern because as we look, there's the baby boomer generation, and that is the largest, and they are aging now, and so it's looking at ways to enable people that are on that chronic care continuum to not only get the care in a skilled facility, but we also have to look at making home care more of a viable alternative. And that's, when I talk to seniors, invariably, the lion's share, and it's like over 90% when asked, where do you want to age in place? Everybody wants to do it at home, where it is less expensive from a state Medicaid perspective. It's about 1/3 the cost of a nursing home.
That's right.
And the health outcomes are better. And so when you look at that, it's what people want. It's less expensive and better. The question I always ask was, why aren't we doing it? Well, we're starting down that. Now, there is a troubling trend here in that nursing homes are closing. And the real reason why nursing homes are closing is that it's more and more difficult for them to survive for really two reasons. The first and foremost is that the finances of the state and federal government, in other words, most nursing homes are funded through either Medicare, Medicaid, or the VA program. All are government-funded healthcare providing programs, and they're all provided at a discount. So if they're providing $1 of medical care, they're only getting paid somewhere between 65 and 80%, 85% on that dollar of care. And they've got to go somewhere to make it up, where they can't balance their books. And the more regulation and tasks you put on them makes it more and more difficult for them to survive. So on one hand, we're making substantial moves forward. It's that financial. And in Connecticut, we have the 4th lowest Medicaid reimbursement rate in the nation, and I think that's something that really, given our state, our affluence, our budget, we can do better than that. The other aspect here is that at one time, before assisted living facilities existed, most people would move to a skilled nursing facility and pay privately. So you had a bigger percentage of residents paying privately. That doesn't exist now. And so assisted living facilities are taking those funds out of this marketplace. And what you really have in the skilled nursing facility is a single payer system. And this is what will happen with the healthcare system, where you only have a government single payer system, is that you start to have poorer quality. People can't compete and provide services in that area. which then will, get to access. Now, that said, it's not the end of the world, because what we're also trying to do, and we did this with one of the initiatives in 5001, is to make home care more available and accessible. We're not only looking at having municipal agents in every town be able to be there and a resource for people, and to create a dashboard and a website so that caregivers have a place to go to find out about aging in place, but we also put forward a bill that I had championed for years. It came out of the Southwest Connecticut Agency on Aging, which is in Bridgeport, and it provides home care for Fairfield County. The executive director there, Marie Allen, had this idea of presumptive eligibility. As people start to spend their money down, and they might only be at 5 or 10,000, that rather than have them continue to pay for the home care and apply to the state for assistance, that often takes 4 to 6 months, and they run out of money, which forces them to go to nursing homes. Well, now with this presumptive eligibility that starts in July, we're going to have the ability to presume they're eligible to keep them home. And that's a real sea change in elder law, and really happy to see that finally get over the line after more than a decade of advocacy on its behalf. And so this is where and how you can balance this, is that while there's these issues, these financial issues in the skilled area, we are making strides in the Connecticut home care area to enable seniors to age in place. And with some of the bill's initiatives with regards to the long-term care ombudsman and the community ombudsman, we're making sure that those seniors in the community are safe and that they're going to be able to age in place with independence, or the maximum amount of independence and dignity.
And now, Kevin, in the less than a minute we have left here, my dad during COVID was in the hospital with prostate cancer. The doctor flat out told me, you'll have to take care of him at home because we need the beds. It seems like COVID made these problems even worse.
Well, no doubt. And the report done by the state of Connecticut showed that, COVID had a lot of problems. Social isolation was one of the biggest issues, which really exacerbated a lot of these problems that we now see. So armed with that experience, COVID was a real daunting task when it happened. I know in my practice on a daily basis, we were dealing with seniors. Yeah, it put a light on this, and now we're doing something about it.
I thank you so much for your time. It's always great to have you.